Hello, my name is Chuck Ross. We're playing Minecraft, and today we're talking about roads. I have a couple of buildings. I like them. They're great. They're perfect. They're wonderful. But they feel like they're all disconnected because they are literally disconnected from each other. And I think making the roads would literally connect my town better. And one thing that I think is really important is figuring out the design for the roads. So what I'm going to do is go into Creative World, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Welcome to Creative World. So here I'm going to be talking about the way I want to design these roads. And what I need is a very nice city street for the higher end neighborhood. I need well-used, moderately well-maintained areas for like the work areas, but still, still well put together. I need a street for the older parts of the world, or the older parts of the city or town, and then I need basically like a dirt road. So that's what I have these here. So what we're gonna have is, say, very nice to good but very well used, and then we're gonna have this section in the middle. It's going to be them fusing together, sort of like trying to mesh from one to the other as seamlessly as possible. So that's kind of what I've got going on here. These are sections of 10. So what we're going to do is start with the very nice one. I already generally know that it's going to be stone and stone variants. For the very nice section, I'm going to avoid using cracked variants. I'm mostly going to try to use different kinds of smoother textures. So we've got stone brick, we've got the smooth stone, the regular stone, and then we also are going to want, I think, andesite. Yeah, let's try andesite. So we're going to decide that this is the base layer. So everything is going to come off of this as far as the texture goes. And we're going to blend this into the middle of that section. So what I'm going to go from here is actually just come in the normal pattern that I do. And we're going to come in with the next one. And then I think we've got one more, which will be the highlight block. So we're just going to do pretty occasionally, I think. So I'm pretty happy with that as basically the design for the very nice areas of the city. So we've got all very similar colors. We have a single highlight block, which would be the smooth stone, and they're all in good condition. They're not like cracked or cobblestone. There's no moss on it. So that's going to be a way to differentiate the nicer section of the city from the not as nice but also well-used section without it just being a single giant block of the stone bricks. So with this road done, we're now going to move on to the second section, which is still pretty good, but very heavily used. So that's going to be the area in probably more of like the town center and going to be more towards the mining area and stuff like that. So for this one, the base is going to be cobblestone, and we're going to have some of the mossy cobblestone in here, not terribly often, but occasionally. And we are actually still going to use some of the stone bricks in here. Not as often, but just occasionally. And then we also are going to use, I think we might still use the smooth stone, or the regular stone. I forget, that's smooth stone. So then from here, we're going to go just a couple of these. And to blend this, we're just going to kind of bring maybe one of these a little further in. And we're going to take, maybe we'll go with one of those, bring those a little further out. So not the easiest transition right there, or not the best transition, I should say. But overall, I don't think that's too bad. Because so many of the blocks are very similar, it's not as difficult to kind of blend them together. Next, we move on to the outer roads. So that is going to be cobblestone based again. However, this time the blocks that are going to be used for the accents are going to be a lot rougher in texture. So we've got the gravel, we've got the mossy cobblestone, we've got the rough andesite, and that should do us pretty well actually. So let me get the base down. And then from here, I still want to have similar highlights to that. So we're going to go with just a couple of mossy cobblestone every once in a while. And then I think for this one, the main texturing block is actually going to be the andesite. And then just a couple accents of the gravel. So obviously this one would be very easy to blend in with that one. So that's why I'm not actually putting them together right now, because it's very obvious. If you want to make this even worse, what you could do is come in here with just a couple of stone stairs, and just every once in a while, don't want to do it too often. And then what you can also do is, where would that be? You can also come in with pressure plates and some buttons kind of dotted around, like, pieces have come up. I would probably, after trying this on my path, I do love the look of those on the ground. However, every time you walk over them, you're going to get that. And a lot of people don't want that, which is totally understandable. So I would probably keep those as like a decoration to the side. The buttons themselves, go wild. Absolutely. Remember that they are directional. So if you want variation in that, you can kind of do that on purpose. But yeah, so now let's move on to the outside, like basically a dirt road. So for the outside roads of the town, I'm going to use the path block as the base. And what you could do is simply come in and, kind of break it up like that. Maybe throw in some dirt blocks here and there, which is good. I want to replace that with dirt path, okay. That is a very good option, but what I wanted to do is make it a little bit more structured. So what I'm coming to do is come in here with the stripped oak logs. I find those work better than the jungle, which is actually pretty good now that I look at it. That's a lot better than I remembered it being, actually. Noted. But for this one, I'm going to use the oak. I just think it looks drier, if that makes sense. And I think I'll show you an example of what I mean by, like, this is like a very dry, old dirt road. I think I want some stairs as well. Let's do that. Throw some of those in there. For the dirt sections, I will try to keep the ditches or the holes in the path kind of along the path. I don't think as much they would kind of come this way, because I imagine that's like wagon travel and stuff like that. So I will come in here and kind of do this. Okay, that's pretty much good. So for this, what I would do is blend this more into that than I would this into that. What I'm talking about is I would try to blend this road using mostly, I think, the nastier elements of it. So that's going to be those, I think, and let's do the andesite. So let's go ahead and bring this in a little bit. So we'll just come in and replace a couple of those. Let's see, we'll go that one as well. And then for this section, I think we'll come in with a little bit of that, and then just a little bit of those. So this one kind of a little bit more obvious, I would say, just because like the drastic color change between the two, but I kind of like it. Maybe bring some of the texture from this one over just a little bit more, and that blends it pretty well. I'm very happy with that. But let me show you an example of what I mean by like a almost muddy, like a wet dirt road versus a dry dirt road. I guess I'll make another row here for a second. So this version of the road, basically the same as that one. Not a whole lot of difference, so I didn't bother showing you me building this one. What I will do is kind of show that you have a couple of different options, especially with this style of a road as far as the button choices go. You can't put them on the dirt path, obviously, or the stairs, but you can put them on the jungle wood, or the normal logs. Why did I say jungle wood? Anyway, you can also go, maybe there's different kinds of buttons. That one doesn't look great. That one looks better. So the oak and the birch are okay. I would probably stick to the birch and the oak. Jungle is an option, but maybe save that for over there. Over here is where it gets interesting. So, just because of the shade of the blocks, once I start adding these on, it'll start to look almost wet, like soaked into the ground. And what we've got for that is we're going to go rooted dirt, some dripstone. Yeah. Starting to actually use that block a little bit more. That's going to be cool. And we're basically going to texture the same way. The dripstone is going to be an accent block. It's not going to be the main secondary. The secondary main. Yeah, that's definitely the way that works. I have a pattern that I like to use. It just makes things easier. When your brain doesn't have to think, it makes life good. So we're just going to come back with the dripstone kind of. I don't believe that's directional. No. Okay. Cool. That's good. So we're just going to come back with those a little bit and place some of those. And then we're going to come in with just a little bit of the packed mud, because the normal mud, the actual mud, is a little dark. So it's just not the right place for that, which is fine. So to me, this is like, well, for some reason this is very stripy, but right now, the colors themselves look saturated, which I think is why it actually looks, to me anyway, like it's literally saturated. And then as far as blending goes, we're going to obviously pick the main block of this one and sprinkle that a little bit more over here. Maybe bring it up to, I guess, there. And then with this one, we'll bring that one a little bit farther in. Just a little bit. And I mean, that's pretty much done. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's pretty much it. As far as the buttons situation, you can continue to use the buttons. With this side, you could probably do a couple of the... Goes really well with the rooted dirt, actually. Nice. Okay. Yeah, just a couple of those. Could you do the jungle stairs for this? Nope. Yes. Okay. So if you wanted to continue the rut in the road, you could definitely do that. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah. So this kind of just the way that my roads are going to be laid out. And this isn't really like an episode. This is just like a, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking as far as the road designs. So for a recap, we have the very nice part of the city. It's well maintained, but you still have the variation of the different kinds of blocks, but you don't have the cracked variant or stuff like that. And then when you get to this section, it's still nice, but it's definitely used a lot, not as kept up. That's kind of the way I'm going with this. I probably, after thinking about it, maybe it would be a good idea to use the cracked in this section, as if the, you know, it's still nice, but it's not maintained. So even the nice parts are just a little older than that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Nice. Thank you, me. Good catch. Over here we have the outskirts of the city, which is going to be a lot older. I probably ought to not do that because I want the ruts to be along the road. Yeah, so this one, I feel like this is a pretty standard path in what I would consider like generally medieval buildings. Nothing breaking the mold with this one. We've got that then that merges, I think, personally, pretty nicely over to an actual like dirt road, basically. So expect this around my farm buildings and things like that. And then over here, you have that exact same thing, and then that merges into a just nasty dirt road. So this would be like the abandoned village that I have. I would probably go in and replace all of those roads with this, so that you know that this is old, this is unused. I'd probably even continue to grow foliage and stuff over it as well. I don't know how long this episode is, because it is Christmas weekend, or the weekend before Christmas, so I wanted to record something, and I know that this is something that I had to do, so yeah, thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.